why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about your character really quick?
So Diastra is a very influencer type. She is very into fashion. She likes knowing what people are thinking. And she is very gung-ho for not ever wearing the same outfit twice, which is a huge thing for her. Um, and she's about to get a very big taste of the real world for the first time in her life. So,
Okay, cool. All right, so what you want to share your race and class for everybody?
so Diastra, let me get back to it because I don't remember all of the things. Diastra is a mark of detection half elf, and she is an aberrant mind sorcerer.
Okay, so we got our nice sorcerer here, and there's going to be a lot of really fun classes, I think, that pop up in this campaign. But this is cool. I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. We are diving into a brand new world. For those who maybe watched the last campaign, uh, we were in a world called Telestia, and that campaign ended kind of on a cliffhanger with the Unbroken, and so this is a whole new journey, a whole new cast of characters, and maybe we'll figure out what happened to that original Unbroken group someday. But for now, we've got a new group of characters that are going to be exploring their own journeys, their own side quests, their own goals. And yeah, I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and kind of jump in. So Diastra is currently, she was, well, why don't you explain what just happened to her?
So Diastra was just kicked out of her family home. She was told to pack a bag and get out and don't look back, with no real answer as to why.
That's right. Um, yeah, she unfortunately she's kind of starting to go on her own, which is something Diastra has never really done. Right? She's kind of always relied heavily on her family, a little bit of her influence. Diastra comes from a noble household, and they're currently in a city called Calfacet, and it's kind of this regional. You can imagine this trade hub of a city. It's almost a central point on one of the continents that we're going to be mostly cruising through. I think at least the beginning of this campaign. It could change, or we could stay on the same continent the entire time. We'll see. But for right now, in Diastra's story, she is in this city, fairly large city, called Calfacet, and she's got her stuff, she's got her belongings, and she's currently being escorted out by some guards that have been told it's time for you to go. This city, you can imagine, is bustling. It's got people of all types. It's been mostly known as the neutral city because it's one of the cities that has rarely ever taken any sort of side when it comes to any maybe local battles, wars, anything like that. Just in history, it just has always remained neutral, which has given it a great reason to be this trade city, this trade hub that multiple people can kind of flow in and out of. So it just so happens that Diastra's family is known to kind of help, you could say, organize some of these trades. They work with some other nobles. Diastra doesn't exactly know a a lot of these people, or at least the people that her family has worked with, and that's partially due to her personality. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, like, a little bit more about her personality and why maybe she has lived, she's probably in her mid-20s, and she's lived here in this city for all of her life. And, like, why does she maybe not know some of these other nobles or people, or, yeah, well, you just want to share a little bit about that?
So Diastra is very much a I'm better than everyone else. She's a daddy's girl. She was raised to believe that she is the best thing that has ever happened to this city. She very much believes that she is the most beautiful thing in the world. She's the most special girl to have ever walked these streets, and she doesn't ever have to worry about anything because daddy will always bail her out if she ever gets into any kind of trouble. Um, but that's no longer the case for her. She's been shunned, essentially, and is now having to figure out that she's maybe not everything that her dad told her that she was her whole life.
Yeah, so she's yeah, this is really cool. So Diastra is out on her own. So let's jump in. You've got an accent for her that you're gonna attempt to use, right? Are you wanting to try that or no?
We're gonna try it. It might take me a minute to get into it.
Hey, that's fine. That's okay. You'll have a little bit of opportunity here as we kind of make our way. So, okay. Currently, Diastra, you've been taken out of you've already been kind of escorted out of one of the more noble, you could say, just kind of areas of the city. Kind of away from some of the more noble houses. You've got 4 guards, 2 on each side. They're not like they're just walking with you. You notice that these are your typical guards you've seen before in the city. Nothing crazy, just kind of this silver lineup of some sort of plate, perhaps. They all have these swords at their hip, kind of sheathed. And they've got these helmets that kind of cover their face, so it kind of keeps their identity. It's hard to know who's who in these guards. And so they haven't really spoken much of a word to you other than they're just doing their job. And they are there to escort you. And if you would just politely cooperate, there won't be any problems. And begrudgingly, Diastra has decided to do so. It might partially be out of anger. It might just be that she is feeling ready to go out on her own. Whatever the case is, she's on her way out the door. So at this point, you're walking kind of through maybe some of the, I wouldn't say lower district, but more just maybe common folk district. So you might be able to hear my child screaming in the background. Just ignore that. It's maybe more of the common folk district, you could say. It's more where maybe most people would be kind of traveling to get from maybe a shop or, other just locations that are within this city. It's actually not an area that surprisingly you may be familiar with because you haven't really ever had a need to come this far away from kind of the noble areas in the city. Everything was always kind of at your doorstep. You could always kind of command somebody to get something for you and it would be there. You wouldn't really ever have to go to the store yourself, but you might have a few times before, but most things were kind of at the snap of your finger. So a lot of this you're kind of looking at almost maybe not for the first time, but for the first time in a long time, and stuff doesn't look familiar, and it just kind of feels like this was maybe your city, you could say, even though it wasn't. It's just weird to you. It's things you're seeing for the first time. People that you might consider lower than you, just based on their clothing and their looks and character. You're walking through this city, and there's a couple people that maybe bump you on accident. They're not really paying attention. They're walking. They're kind of doing their own thing. You kind of get bumped a couple times. You notice the guards do as well. How would you react to some common guy who just happens to accidentally bump your shoulder as you're walking past him? Doesn't even say, he may not look at you, and he doesn't even say anything.
I think she would be personally offended. This dress is designer. Who do you think you are? My father paid a lot of money for this dress, and you think, ew, no, not happening.
You see the guy, he kind of looks at you. Yeah, or as he's walking past you, he kind of looks back at you for a moment and then, okay. And he kind of just keeps walking. He doesn't pay you any mind. A couple of the guards.
Absolute nerve.
One of the guards kind of looks at you for a moment. You almost hear a chuckle underneath the helmet that comes out through the helmet. And then you hear a voice. You really haven't been here very much, have you?
Why would I ever need to come down here? I have a beautiful house. I don't need to be here.
I believe the verbiage is you had a beautiful house. Not anymore, of course.
You had.
Let's move along. And you keep moving. Not necessarily like people just don't care about you. It's not that like people are just bumping into you all the time and not saying anything. It's just people seem to be in a rush, in a hurry. A lot of people, you notice, are carrying things. I mean, this truly is a trade hub, and you find yourself getting closer and closer. You can kind of start to see the city walls, the massive kind of gate that is one of the just main entrances into the city, and you know that this gate stays open during the day, closes just after sunset, just for safety, and if people want to get in, they can. It's just a little bit harder to, but it's not like everything is closed off because of the nature of the trade city. You have no map. You aren't exactly sure maybe where you're going. And as you get closer, I would say it's probably still early morning, or maybe late morning. Maybe it's almost noon. Like it'd be like 11. And you start to find your way closer, and before one of the guards kind of looks at you, or rather glances in your direction and keeps walking, facing their head back forward. So what is your plan? Where do you think you're gonna go?
My plan should not be any of your concern. I would like to know, however, how you intend for me to leave this city without a horse.
Well, if you want a horse, you've got to pay for one.
I've had a horse for many years. I don't understand why you didn't bring it.
Oh, right. Well, that may be one thing your father decided to leave for you. We'll make sure that it's ready. Do you know where you're going?
Well, no.
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm sure I can figure it out. I am an intelligent woman.
Of course, of course. People like you survive out there by themselves every day. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem.
I deal with problems as they come.
Right. Well, there are many on the road, and you will be challenged in many ways. I sure hope we don't hear anything terrible.
The only terrible news that will be given back to my father will be that I am better than him.
Right. All right. Look, we're getting close. I hope you've got everything you need.
I've got an outfit for every day of the rest of time. A while, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of clothes in this bag.
Right. Okay. You see he kind of whistles nearby at another local guard that seems to be kind of walking by. Loud whistle, and you can kind of see the attention sparks, and he begins to walk over. You hear him, "Make sure you get Diastra's horse ready. I believe her father maybe have left it for her in her possession to aid her on her travels to wherever it is she decides to find herself." You see one of the other guards, the one that he's talking to, "Right, on the way," and he scurries off to one of the stables that is nearby to fetch what would be a horse of yours, a horse that is familiar to you. It's got its saddle in place and ready to go. It's got all of your typical belongings that you would keep on the horse, and you find yourself closer and closer to where you are now at the front of the gate. At this point, you do see that this is one of the busiest parts of the city. Wagons coming in, covered wagons, other just people walking with goods in their hands. You don't see a whole lot of you could say homeless or anything. It's like everybody around has something in their hands, or they got a wagon of some sort, or horses and things like that. And it's very busy. And you get to kind of the front where you see a lot more guard presence, a lot more people, and you kind of get to a point where the guards kind of stop, and it's just kind of this open area. I wouldn't say it's just kind of the grounds for trading, when people kind of come in and they're establishing where they want to go, what streets they want to get to, or if there's a little market area they can drop some things off. And you're kind of in this area. It's mostly dirt, and there's people unloading and packing and things like that. And one of the guards kind of looks at you, kind of the one that's been talking to you. "All right, well, this seems to be the drop-off, if you will. Good luck out there, Diastra, and maybe we'll see your face again someday."
I'm sure you will.
Well, right. The road is right over there. You can follow it, and you will find yourself somewhere. If you're lucky, you might find yourself into a town, or a city, or somewhere safe.
Well, it's been a real pleasure. She starts to climb up on her horse.
Yeah.
Still wearing her bag.
One of the other guards says, "Sure you don't want to," you kind of hear this, "You sure you don't want to give her some direction?" And the guard that kind of is like trying to send you off, he's like, "Ugh. If you head that way, you'll get to Fellbrook in a day. Well, for you, maybe a couple of days." He points to basically the only road that's in front of you, and he just kind of haphazardly, like, if you go that way, you'll run into Fellbrook. Take you about a day to get there. Small town, a little more like a village. Maybe you can find something there. Whatever it is that you end up looking for, I say.
Well, I guess I have to start somewhere, so hopefully it'll be a long time before I have to see you again.
Well, we'll see. At about that time, some commoner or rather just some tradesman kind of walks up and to you. Well, that dress looks fantastic. It's got to be worth something.
Thank you. Well, it was custom made.
Well, I can tell the fabrics are not any. Well, it wasn't crafted in just any tailor's house, and well, do you have more like it? Could we buy some? I mean, we'll give you some gold. You see, as he's talking to you, there's a group of other guys kind of behind him in a group. Seems to be kind of chatting amongst themselves.
I keep all of my clothes, thank you. I don't need to sell you any of it.
Well, fine. Whatever. You're gonna look goofy running out there on that road with that anyway. He kind of turns around and heads away from you. One of the guards kind of fixes himself and he says, well, off with you. Like I said, Fellbrook is that way. You'll get there in a day. If you don't lollygag, you'll get there in a day. If you don't know what you're doing and where you're going, it may take a little bit longer. Go on. He kind of waits for you to leave.
She kind of sits there for a second, adjusts, and makes sure she's comfortable, and then just slowly starts heading out.
Okay. The familiar horse, it notices you, and it kind of you can almost feel you can feel that this horse recognizes you and it knows you, and it easily follows your command. You start to slowly make your way to the road right in front of you, and you see that there's a couple other people kind of also headed out as well, and you see that for now at least the road seems straight. It's a wide road. What would you like to follow any of these people, or kind of maybe keep your distance, kind of go your own way?
I think she would probably she wants to ride straight down the middle of the road, but definitely doesn't want to be touched by anyone. She doesn't want them getting her dress dirty. She doesn't want their grubby little fingers stealing any of her things. So I think she would be riding kind of off to the side, but sitting very high in her saddle, just very like, I know that I'm better than all of you.
Okay. It's not long that like the dust and dirt gets kicked up just from other people, and it's kind of flying up on you and on your dress a little bit, and it kind of makes you maybe cough a little bit. But how do you respond to that, even? Because even that is not something you may. I mean, you know it's a thing, but you're just not even used to something like that. This is not something you do. You stay on like brick and established road, and dirt is not something you typically have traveled on. How do you respond to even just this dirt that gets kicked up and in your face and on your dress?
I feel like at first it's very like every like time something gets on her dress, she's doing prestidigitation. Like this must be the dress has to stay perfect. Um, but after a while, once she starts kind of like getting a little tired, it turns into every few miles she's doing prestidigitation, and the closer she gets to her destination, the less she's doing it because she's just, well, this is just pointless. At this point, I might as well just have sold this dress, and oh, this is just terrible. Why would he do this to me?
Yeah. Yeah, and as you travel, you see less and less people. And actually, you kind of get to your first, you could say, uh, uh, routes. It's where the road splits off into several directions, and even the people that are left that you see are all headed into different trade routes, essentially. And you can see they all kind of stay like a dirt, somewhat road, and they all kind of begin to split into several different directions. And you see like a wagon kind of go off to your right, and then some other people that are traveling just go straight, and then another small wagon heads off to your left, with like 4 different directions to go. You find yourself at a crossroads. Where do you go? Not sure where. There's no signpost.
Let's see. Am I within like 30-ish feet of somebody?
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
by chance. I'm gonna use detect thoughts on them.
Okay.
Um, I think it rolled something and I didn't mean for it to roll something.
Oops.
She's mainly looking for like thoughts of I'm gonna go home or gonna go get a drink or like something to be able to discern where these people are going.
Okay. Did you roll something? Oh
It
no.
just put that it's a wisdom save and the DC.
Okay.
Roll20's updated since we last used it.
It do be updated. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and you said you're just kind of looking for, like what people are thinking, like, I want to go home, or we're going this way or that way, or the nearest town, or things like that, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So we'll just say that you kind of notice somebody within 30 feet. You see kind of this maybe middle-aged man with this group of other people that are walking nearby. Can you roll me a d20?
D20.
I know I said we weren't going to do any rolls, but this is cool. We'll roll with this. Nice. Okay. She rolled a 1. Okay, so as you cast this and you detect into somebody's mind, you do get a thought, and his thought is, it's kind of shady. It's a little foggy, and not shady. It's foggy, and you kind of hear him. Man, how am I gonna go to the bathroom with these people? What am I gonna do? We got a long ride ahead of us. And that's all you get out of that.
Oh my god. I'm surrounded by idiots.
It gets foggy. If you want, you can roll one more time since your duration is 1 minute, and see if you can kind of keep your concentration, as well as it's not a concentration check, but just to kind of keep it and focus, maybe probing deeper into this guy's head. Okay, she rolled a 13. You kind of shake off those initial thoughts, and you kind of probe deeper into this guy's mind for whatever time you have left. You begin to kind of hear these thoughts of, oh, I really hope this is the right direction. Felbrook is back to the south. We're headed west, so I don't know. It would be easier if we went to the south. We'd have a stopping point. But this is several nights this direction. It kind of gives you an idea of where to go. At least a little bit. They're headed west. And Felbrook is not west.
Okay, well, if they and I are headed in a westerly direction and I need to be going in a southerly direction, she's going to kind of adjust where she's going a little bit and hope that it gets her where she needs to be and follow where he's thinking he wants to go.
All right. You kind of change direction and you follow a road that leads more south. And you begin making your way south down this road. This path, you could tell it's traveled. You could see the prints in the dirt. And you kind of keep traveling. And it's at this point that this road stays kind of by itself for a couple more miles. And you find yourself kind of more alone at this point. It's been maybe almost 2 hours since you've left. You know, it's about 1 o'clock. And you don't really see ahead of you. You don't really see anything more but just the road. Like I said, there's not really any people. You continue to travel on your horse. Just following the road, doing what you know is best. And I'd say you travel for a solid, let's see, you travel probably another, probably 6 hours, which is about, well, sorry, not 6 hours. You travel for about another 3 hours. And as you do, you've probably traveled about 8 miles in that time. And you do see kind of in the distance, there's this small town. You know, there are walls, although not large walls. And you actually do see that there is another group with a wagon kind of coming from what looks like that town. They're coming kind of towards you. They don't seem like they're coming towards you to speak to you, but they're just traveling against the road, against the direction that you're going. as they get close enough to be within talking distance, one of them kind of looks at you, and this is something you notice about these guys, is that all of these guys look a little bit more dirty. They look a little bit more gruff, kind of gritty. You can just see physically that they are not, that they're just like not super clean. But they do have their own wagon, and observing the wagon looks well used. In fact, some of the wooden boards that keep it together are broken, cracked, warped, and weathered, and it's being pulled by 2 horses. One of them kind of looks at you. Hi, where are you off to all by yourself?
Well, my daddy did teach me to never talk to strangers, but I could probably use some help. I'm trying to find Failbrook.
You're in the right place. You just keep following this road, you'll find Felbrook. That information, it's gonna cost you.
Oh, goodness. And what exactly would you like?
Oh, we like gold. You've got an expensive looking dress on, so I know you've got it.
And how much gold do you think that pointing makes you deserve?
How much do you think it's worth?
I think it's not worth gold. Bless you.
Well, I think it is. And you watch as a couple of the others, the wagon finds itself to stop. And some of the other guys, you count 3, they kind of are all kind of looking in your direction now.
I sure hope you don't decide to make a silly decision over a piece of gold.
I want more than a piece.
Well, you won't be getting it from me.
And what do you think you're going to do? By the looks of it, you're alone.
No.
You're in a dress. What could you possibly do?
Darling, have you ever met a woman? We're pretty damn strong, especially when we're in dresses.
You hear the group of them kind of laugh. I won't be asking you again. We want 10 gold pieces.
And I want a feather bed and a hot bath.
You really think you're gonna get that at Felbrook? You really are lost. I think, I think we'll just let you go. And he kind of smiles in a very eerie way.
That's probably a good decision on your part.
Right. Okay. Well, how about you find your way to Felbrook before something happens?
Can I do another... Sorry.
No, you're
Mike's
good.
on the other side. Can I do another detect thoughts?
Yes, go for it.
He will need to roll a wisdom save.
All right. Roll a 5.
DC 14.
Okay, so he fails. You probe into his mind for a moment as you're having this conversation with him. Uh, immediately you pick up. We'll just wait for this girl to quietly move on by before we come back later. She'll never see it coming.
Oh, man. Simple, simple creatures. She doesn't say anything to them. She just keeps moving. But she's definitely paying more attention to what's happening around her.
Okay. As you keep traveling, as you begin to travel, I should say, they don't move. Like, they eerily kind of laugh and they watch you. And you quickly try to make your way to Philbrook. As darkness, as the sunset is arriving, keeping yourself like wary, you do arrive at the small town of Philbrook. You get straight to their gates. You see a single guard, not nearly geared as the ones in Calvacet. But he stands there and he kind of nods his head as you begin to enter the town. Something that you see, or rather the town itself, you notice is it's a simple town. It's nothing crazy. It's actually, to you, it's almost kind of baffling that towns can be this small, as you've kind of always grown up in a larger, in a larger city. So to you, this town is really small. But it looks simple, and there's not a whole lot going on here. What would you like to do as you enter this town? It is getting dark.
As she's kind of passing the guard, she stops for a second. Darling, would you happen to know somewhere that I could find a room to stay for the night? I am so tired and I am just starved.
He kind of looks at you. Of course, and you do notice again, this guard even kind of looks you up and down, a little bit maybe puzzled at your clothing before answering your question. He looks at you and says, "Are you looking for just a night or maybe a tavern?"
Anything that has hot food and a bed at this point.
Okay. The Copper Kettle is just down the road there.
Thank you. You have a wonderful night, and just so you know, there are some questionable men that may be trying to follow me back in here. Just thought you would be interested to know that.
Huh, when isn't there? I mean, we've got reports of a missing merchant caravan just in the woods nearby. Things like this just happen. You just got to be careful.
Well, thank you. Again, I'll just be on my way.
Right. Copper Kettle, just down the road. He kind of turns back and leaves you to your business.
She starts kind of following his direction a little bit, trying to figure out where she's at and what she's looking for.
Yeah. You kind of look around. This seems to be maybe a waypoint. Between maybe this is to you, you're just trying to take it all in. Again, this is kind of weirdly maybe marvelous or disgusting, depending on your view. This small town, people are nowhere near as well nicely dressed. You see that there's even farmers and things like that. As you're kind of making your way in, people do like stare at you, just because you could take it as you've heard this many times already. It's your clothing just seems to stand out. And as you make your way, you do see a hanging wooden sign kind of shaking in the wind. You see it says the Copper Kettle, and you see what looks like a kettle engraved into the wood. The sign is old and it's a little bit worn and cracked, and you find your way to where you can kind of saddle your horse. Except for you're not used to saddling your horse just outside of the building. You haven't seen a stable as far as you know, but there is an area, and you can see there's a few other horses that have just been kind of roped off on some nearby wooden construct, essentially, that somebody has built. What would you like to do?
I think she would try to tether her horse to one of the same things one of the other horses is. She does a very poor job. She has no clue what she's doing at all. But she, as she's walking away from the horse, she kind of pats it. Now stay right here. I'll make sure you get some good food and some nice cool water. And walks towards the door.
Okay. You walk in, and it's quiet. There's few people sitting about. You immediately see a few tables, but you also see that there is kind of a stairwell that kind of goes up to a second floor. You see it looks like a kind of a bar that is set up, and then you see kind of what looks like in the back corner of the room. There's another room that possibly leads somewhere. It's not a very large establishment. And as you do enter, there seems to be a guy cleaning what looks like a glass or something, and kind of looks up at you. Welcome. Warm food? Need a place to stay?
Warm food sounds absolutely heavenly right now.
Right.
Could I bother you for some?
Oh, no problem. It'll just be a copper, and we'll have something out for you.
I don't have anything smaller than a gold. Is that okay? I need a room too.
He looks at you kind of wide-eyed. Of course, a gold works. Well, it'll cover your room and your food. Kind of holds his hand out.
Oh, perfect. Here you go. Can I eat in the room? I don't like people.
Of course, and you notice as he goes, he kind of, as you hand out the gold, he actually kind of snatches it from you. Something that kind of maybe has bothered you about that is like his hand touched yours, even as he kind of just naturally, he's taking the gold from you. You see he kind of quickly shoves it in his pocket. Right, yeah, we'll take care of that.
And where do I go?
He turns around really quick and finds you an old, looks like a rusty key. Comes back and hands it to you. Here you go. It's just going to be room number 4.
Thank you. She kind of picks it up with just her index finger and her thumb and doesn't hold it with anything more than that. And just takes her bag up, like starts to go up the stairs and turns back. Is there any way that you could feed my horse as well?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, which one is it?
Oh, it's that very beautiful one out there. She is. I just forgot everything to do with horses. She's that beautiful paint out there. She has the gorgeous purple saddle on her.
Purple saddle. Sure, no problem. We'll take care of that, and your food will be ready soon. And he
Thank you so much.
Quickly kind of turns around and goes into a nearby room, and you hear some clashing of what sounds like pots and pans or kettles. Do you head up to your room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, goes up and locks the door as many times behind her as she can.
Sure. You do so. It clicks. It's a little hard to open at first. And it clicks open, and you walk in, and you walk into, in your perspective, a disgusting room. The bed is too dang small. The floor it just looks like nobody's ever cleaned it. The just smell, it's musty. It smells dusty and old. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. To you. You can't remember if you've ever stayed in a place like this.
Daddy must hate me. I don't understand.
It's about that time.
Is there any...
A knock at the door. Not very long after you opened it. Hello? Hello?
Who is it?
You got some food?
Oh, thank you. If you wouldn't mind, just leave it at the door. I'll come get it in just a moment.
Sure. You listen for a moment as you hear it kind of get set down on the floor, and then you hear the footsteps fade out.
She very slowly opens the door, trying not to like knock anything over.
Yeah.
And just kind of peeks out both ways, looks down at the food. Oh, well, I guess this'll do. At least it's warm. And picks it up and takes it back in the room and shuts and locks the door behind her again.
Yeah, it comes to you in a wooden bowl with a little wooden spoon. Not nearly the, not even close to what you're used to. You shut the door, and you begin to look at the food. Not nearly the type of food you're used to eating. This weird, almost jelly-like soup. It's got some kind of protein in it. It looks like maybe chicken. And it's certainly not the greatest looking. It actually probably looks disgusting to you.
Where am I? Out of almost habit of this just looking like something that somebody would poison somebody with, she's gonna cast Detect Poison and Disease on it.
Sure. You do so with the magic that you've learned in your noble household. And you take a moment for the magic to take effect. Nothing seems poisoned. Nothing seems diseased. It just kind of smells weird and doesn't look great.
Well, at least it won't kill me right off. All right. I guess we gotta do this. Starts like a toddler taking a first bite of something. Just very like tasting the least amount that she possibly can.
Yeah. It's not good to you. I mean, it's like the texture is off, the taste is cheap. Yeah, it would be maybe tough for Diastra to get through this meal if she decides to.
I think she would try to power through a few bites and just... I cannot do this. This is not worth it. I need to find something better. But I need a nap first.
Yeah, and you notice that that sunset is done past, and it is nightfall. You know, you notice, or at least as you were kind of coming in, you had noticed that they were beginning to light torches and stuff just to keep the roads lit up. Are you deciding to go to sleep?
Uh, yeah, I think she would set the jelly soup back outside the door.
Yeah.
Not much of any of it is missing. And she would, if there's anything movable, she's a little scared of her stuff being stolen because commoners. So I think she would move something in front of the door, so at the very least the sound of it falling over would wake her up.
Okay.
And then prestidigitation on the bed.
Yeah.
To try to clean it up at least a little bit.
Okay.
And then try to get any kind of sleep.
Okay. As you try to go to sleep, the bed is not nearly as soft or nearly as comfortable, but you just do the best you can to just close your eyes. Tomorrow, surely, will be a better day. Maybe you can figure something out tomorrow. Whatever it is that you plan on doing. As you fall into a slumber, you almost feel you feel your dream kind of come before you. It starts out hazy, and you almost feel, in a quick sense, you feel overwhelmed. You almost feel pulled to something. In your dream, you can't really see anything. It's dark, but then you start to see what kind of looks like lightning. It's flashing in your dream. You kind of focus in maybe on this lightning. It seems to pull you. You almost have no way to resist it. It feels like as it begins to almost kind of make you shudder. It kind of makes you feel almost maybe even scared or anxious. You almost start to feel a rumbling. This is not a dream anymore. This is slowly becoming a nightmare. You almost don't feel, you can't tell almost the difference between this being a reality or your real reality. You start to see people that you've never seen before, and you're at their side. You've got your weapons drawn. Something you're not used to doing other than just being in training. You're looking at something, but it's clouded. You can't tell what it is. A flash of this lightning kind of happens again, and you're holding something in your hand. You don't know what it is. It seems large, but you're holding it with one hand, so it's not that big. There's an orange, purplish, weird glow about it that you see. You almost feel your eyes, you almost are taken away from your own body. You see yourself holding whatever this object is. And you almost seem paralyzed. You're like frozen in time looking at whatever this object is. Another flash of lightning, and you're in the middle of this it's darkness. Almost like water is beneath your feet, and there's clouded figures next to you. You don't know who they are. They're like silhouetted. And you're trying to look at them. You can't see any features. You just see that they're just standing there. Each one different. But before you're able to tell what they're maybe carrying, just based on their silhouette, the lightning flashes again. A rumble kind of takes over this stream. I need you. This kind of voice shakes your dream. Another flash of lightning, and you see this object again. This diamond-like object, diamond-shaped like object. It's speaking to you. There's something about it, and it's calling you. You feel pulled to this object. For some reason, it's as if it's chosen you, and it needs you. A flash of lightning, and you're shown this kind of like this small compound, if you will. There's people walking about. It's hard to know what they're doing. It's hard to know where it's even at. And another flash of lightning. Diastra. I need you. This thing knows your name, and it makes you kind of shiver in your dream. There's a moment of just silence. It feels like this nightmare is ending. Another rumble, another quick series of lightning. You see in a moment just people, this object, and this place. But it's so fast, you're just not able to pick up what these things are. You kind of notice something naturally. You're not wearing your dress. You're wearing these like adventurer type, something you never would probably wear. It's different for you. You almost don't even think it's you. But you see your face. There's something's off here. You know it. This is not normal. This is clearly just a nightmare. And you're trying to tell yourself that as you're experiencing all these things. The rumble begins to slowly fade. You start to almost feel yourself in like this cold sweat. Darkness overwhelms and takes you. Or at least this stream. Then a glow. Just a purple glow. And outlining it is this orange. And it's this floating, crystal-like, diamond-shaped object. And it looks at you. It feels like it's looking at you. And it pulsates orange and purple. I need you. I need you. It fades to darkness. And you finally you feel like you are waking up from whatever this is. You kind of open your eyes, your head kind of hurts. You feel jostled. You kind of awaken, you find yourself, you're kind of cold. And you take a moment, you kind of, as you're waking up and you're kind of getting through this grogginess, you look around and you remember that soup was not poisoned yet. You're not in that inn. Takes a moment. You look around. You're not in a familiar place. Are you still in a dream? You might be asking yourself, am I still in this dream? No, it feels too real. It feels real. You look around, there's a couple other bodies, but you're so groggy you can't tell right away. Who are these people? You don't even know if they're alive. They're next to you. You're rubbing your eyes. Things are groggy. You got a serious headache. Your dress is a disaster. It is literally dirty. You don't know what's happened. But you find yourself in a new place, shaken by the nightmare you just had. That's where this story ends for now. That's where we'll pick up in session 1 with everybody else.
More things saying characters' names. You know that freaks me out.
Yes. Interesting. That's it.
Okay.
Yep. Diastra has found herself somewhere that is not in that inn. It could just be a dream. Maybe. What do you think?
I'm terrified.
Yeah. It's exciting. I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm too ready for everybody else to get in here.
Yes. Yes. It's going to be really good.